Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and I welcome all of you back to another Rage video, where tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be doing another Psyc2go video. Now, the reason why 1 week after doing the last video and I wanted to do more is because I'm kind of in the mood to just kind of be more open to discussions about stuff like this. Normally, I'm not too sure actually, like normally I'm kind of like pretty certain of myself in the first place about certain things that I believe in myself and certain ways I like go about certain things. There is obviously room for improvement. I'm obviously, I'm not going to start saying that, I'm perfect or anything like that. It's just sometimes I feel as if like I'm more than capable of making up my own mind when it comes to this sort of thing about like psychology, or rather how I learn to, behave because of what I believe in. Now, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, there is absolutely no reason why I shouldn't at least hear out what they've got to say, because it could reveal something about us that we never realized was there before. It can help us understand each other a little bit better. It can even make the better parts of all of us shine like a star. So there's always that sort of thing to look on, ladies and gentlemen. Don't even technically look at it as like self-improvement or anything like that. Just take a look at it as the fact that it's shining light on something that maybe we've not particularly noticed before. And I love the fact now that it's just only gone 9 o'clock at night, and the sky is basically now a very autumnish sort of night. That it's already gone dark, and the dark nights are starting to close in on us again. So I feel like just a warm environment and we can get started. So if you guys want to check out the original video for yourselves, links will all be in the description down below. I wonder if the guys at Psyc2go are watching this video, or probably the ones I'll be making about them, because at the very least, I think it's something where I can at least impart some of my own wisdom, as it were, and we can see where it goes from there. So, 5 powerful secrets to make someone pursue you.
Hey Psyc2goers, welcome back to another video. Thank you all so much for the love and support. Let's begin. We all have attractive qualities within us. Maybe you're the comedic type, or the kind soul, or the sweet friend. Perhaps you're gifted in the arts, or at chess, or maybe you're a math whiz. Whatever it is that makes you stand out, odds are you hope your crush notices these great qualities. But what if we have a hard time showing them to others right away? What if the person we admire can't quite notice the great things that make you, you? Well, you could hope they will eventually notice, or you can use a few psychology tricks to point them in the right direction. Today, I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. Well, multiple secrets. Psychological secrets. Number 1, buy a gift for your crush and yourself. Who doesn't love gifts? You may have considered gifting your special someone something they'd like, but if you want them to bond with you more, give yourself the same present as well. According to several studies, someone is likely to feel closer to you if you give them something you own as well. Researchers call this behavior companionizing. Think of it this way. You slide over a neatly wrapped present towards your date. They open it, and to their surprise, it's a lovely handmade bracelet. They appreciate it, but then you roll up your sleeve and show that you too have a matching bracelet, a paired gift. Not only will they enjoy their gift more knowing someone out there has another part of it, but they'll feel closer to you as well. Number 2.
Maybe the idea isn't going to work too well if I got them a brand new Mazda MX-5. But actually, you know what? That's a very, I will admit, that's actually a really sweet idea. I don't want to necessarily say it's the most important thing you should do, but the only issue I could possibly see with that is that people might start looking at you as someone who's just going to buy them stuff just so they have a reason to talk to you. But again, I suppose maybe this video is only going out towards people who actually do like other people, not people who are obviously gold diggers. So I suppose there is that, and maybe I've never done this before, so I've technically never really know certain if this works. Although the closest I think I've ever had to doing stuff like this is when I took a woman out for an afternoon, and we basically drank. We drank a lot of beer. I bought the first round in, so does that technically count? That we both got the same beverage and that sort of thing. Does that count? Maybe it does. Maybe it doesn't. Let's. Anyway, ask them a favor.
Ask them for a favor. A favor. Wouldn't asking someone for something cause them to not like you? Well,
not
according to the
necessarily.
Benjamin Franklin effect, not exactly. When we do nice things for someone, our brain will assume we like them. Why else would we do such a kind favor? We wouldn't do a favor for someone we don't like. This is called the Benjamin Franklin effect, and it was used by Franklin to turn his haters into his best friends. When Franklin ran for his second term as clerk of the General Assembly, one of his colleagues delivered a lengthy speech to the legislature, hating on Franklin. Franklin had judged this man might become an influence in government, so he devised a plan to make his enemy his friend, without, according to Franklin, paying any servile respect to him. As a book collector and library founder, Franklin was known for having stellar taste in literature among many. Franklin wrote a letter to his rival, asking to borrow a book from his library, one which was a very scarce and curious book. Flattered, the hater sent the book immediately and received a thank you note from Franklin when returned. The next time he saw Benjamin Franklin, he not only talked to him in person with a new outlook, but became good friends with him. Wow. Plenty of studies have further proved the Benjamin Franklin effect to be, well, effective. So go ahead and ask your crush for a favor. They may just find themselves liking you back. Number 3, use the triangle technique
Hang on,
for engaging
what was that?
to be, well, effective. So go ahead and ask your crush for a favor. They may just find themselves liking you back.
I suppose maybe it's again in the context of something that you're both into. Maybe it's like cooking or art, that sort of thing. Because I suppose the thing when you do that is that you're kind of having to do a bit of interaction if you're doing something together. Maybe that's like the key for it, is that there's like a scenario where you've got to like do something together. I mean, it wouldn't make much sense if you were doing things rather independently to start like... I suppose that it's like a very social sort of thing, and maybe that's what Franklin did so well, was that he didn't condescend or descend into bullying or name calling, but rather he saw the influence that people did have, and then he used it to work them into a system where they could be social with it and be extremely influential with it, because, well, again, that makes sense to me, because when I think of if I wanted to ask somebody to do a favor, then it would probably have to be, I think if it's reasonable as well. That's maybe one of the bigger things.
Number 3, use the triangle technique for engaging eye contact. So you can't stop looking at your crush's dreamy eyes, can you? Well, you may have heard that good eye contact can make you appear more confident and likable. True. But you might want to take it easy. The staring is kind of creeping them out. I mean, where's the line between confident eye contact and creepy staring? Well, to help you out, you can try using the triangle technique. Simply imagine an upside-down triangle on your crush's face. Imagine 2 corners over your crush's eyes and the third over their mouth. When you begin your conversation with them, shift your gaze to each point for about 5 to 10 seconds. This will help you appear confident and interested. But you do need to actually listen to the conversation for this to work. Number 4, show your positive side.
Big one.
People enjoy being around others who are happy. If someone's encounters with you are mostly positive, they'll start to associate positive emotions with you. This is good because if they're going to fall for you, they have to be happy around you. Thing is, if someone is happy and sticks to that emotion, others around them will start feeling better as well. A research paper from the University of Hawaii and Ohio State University suggests that many individuals can unconsciously tell what mood you're in just by being around you. Seems fair, right? So, if you're in a good mood, emit that energy. Bring out your positive chi. Whoever you're around will likely sense your mood and give in and feel happier around you. And number 5, make a good first impression.
I know if I will, like, the last part is quite an interesting one, but showing your positive side is, that's really important. I think it's not just about maintaining, but also staying positive, despite certain things that, you know what, petty or big or whatever else they may be, you've got to try and, like, mellow out of them and try and learn to get over them. I know that seems like, you know, it's a very simpler thing than done. However, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to, you know, be taken seriously by somebody you like, or even want to really move on with your life so you don't end in this, like, never-ending circle of disappointment, you've got to just let things go. Or if you can't let things go, push them so far into the back, you just got to stop thinking about them. Because imagine you were spending all the time, you know, just talking to a friend of yours. Let's rule out the idea of, like, love interest for 1 second. What about just people you like and people you associate with? Wouldn't it not be fair and just to, I don't know, just talk to them normally and know about the social cues about what you should and shouldn't do? I mean, I knew this all the way going through, like, secondary school, because, you know, an all-boys school, it's a very, very strange environment indeed. But then you have the issue about, again, what's right and what's wrong for other people. And this is just one of those things you develop, and even when you go into, like, college or university and you become, like, more associated, you know, with the fairer sex, because they'll probably be in your classes as well. It's a strange one. But it's an interesting one, and I think the last one is make a good first impression.
Secret that first impressions leave a lasting mark. According to a study published in the Journal of Social, Psychological, and Personality Science, first impressions from a photograph of someone can influence another's judgment of them, even after they've met. In the study, people would evaluate others based on their photographs and then meet them. The first impression through the photograph influenced the individual's judgment of the person, even after they met them formally. When you do decide to muster up the courage to ask your crush out, leave a lasting impression. A good one. It's a good start for one thing, and sooner or later...
I'm really actually, you know what, I'm a little bit... Actually, you know what, I'll play the end of this, I may as well. There's not much left to go.
They may be falling for you before you know it. So don't be late for the first meetings, and emit that positive chi. Do you plan to use any of these secrets on your crush?
Well, maybe crush again, that's slightly different. Because there was something strange about the last part that I'm not entirely sure I agree with. Let me just sort of, like, explain why, from my perspective, why I don't agree with the last part. I do agree that, you know what, having something about you that's charming and, you know, something that emits something that attracts you towards others, I don't disagree with that. But what I do disagree with is the knowledge that because of what people have told me, is that there'll be people out there who will see me, not know anything about me, and then say, look at that scumbag, or look at that giant twat there, and they'll say, and they'll think, oh, even if this is absolutely not true, how can I prove it's not true, and how can I prove that there are people who say or think good things about me at all? Call that a paranoia thing, but kind of makes you wonder, doesn't it? Because I suppose when you think about it like that, the thing you could always just say, and I can say this for myself right here, is that sadly there is no pleasing some people, and I think that's a perfectly fine assessment as well. You're not exactly, it's, even if it's not about, like, winning, like, you know, the affections of somebody you desired, what about just making friends in a general sort of way? Why not about, you know, appealing to people that, you know, you're kind of interested in, people you want to know more about, and vice versa. but the thing is I think especially when it comes to what I'm doing, and because there's so much out there, it's going to be a little bit strange to work out exactly what's the first thing that people are going to say. I recognize him because I saw this from him first. It's not exactly going to be, because I spread myself quite a lot about the sort of content I do, and because again, what I might do might be interesting or compelling to someone, and it may not be for someone else. But the point is that I'm not always, sadly, going to impress everyone. Now that would be well enough if it was just people who didn't necessarily think the same way I did and all that stuff. But the problem is that when it becomes an issue, when more and more people they get the wrong idea about what I'm all about, then that's kind of the issue. Is that no matter how much I try to keep a straight face and just go about the way I do, because trust us, ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to make people feel uncomfortable. I don't want to make people think that I'm doing things intentionally to piss people off. I'm not like that. I'm just being myself, and I think that's I'm not entirely sure exactly what more people want from me than that. And that's sort of, again, you could work out the problems, is that sometimes it may make no difference whatsoever whether or not I present myself and I'm like full of charisma and all that. It's just sadly one of those things, and maybe that's just the sort of thing I do. I'm not going to start bouncing around, screaming, "Welcome, ladies and gentlemen." I'm not going to start, being this, showman, because for me, doing that is extremely fake for me, and it's not really the sort of thing that people. Yeah, I'm not gonna start doing things just because I'm going to be popular for them. I'm going to do them because that's what I want to do, and consciously it's my decision. And whether or not I decide I'm putting all of my I do decide to put in a lot of effort into what I do, ladies and gentlemen. I think that's sort of been a little bit proven already if you're at this stage of RageCon, 8.5 months into this. But what is the issue again? I'm going to say this one more time. The issue is that, yes, of course, I emphasize that, do something that's going to make yourself stand out if it's someone particular you want to do it for. It's another matter entirely, ladies and gentlemen, when people are just not impressed by what you do. And again, it could be through no fault of your own, but maybe at least try and pick up maybe what people are saying to you. Because that's the sort of thing I long for more than anything, is to get feedback. So when people see me, and if they're doing it for the first time, they'll get an impression of me. And that gives me a lot more to work with. So it builds itself up from there. So I guess you can say is that I agree with parts of the last one about making a good first impression, but not all of them. Which, I don't know, you can't win them all, I suppose. See how I use my logic in this as well? That's something. So anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed 5 powerful secrets that make someone pursue you, and I will hope to love you guys again in the next video. Take care, and bye-bye for now.